I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting of the Michigan City Board of Works and Public Safety to order this 21st day of December 2020. Present are Andrew White, Mayor Dwayne Perry, and Virginia Keating presiding. We have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is the minutes of the regular Zoom meeting of December 7th, 2020. Are there any additions or corrections to those meetings?
None.
Minutes. Then do I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
Support.
Do I have, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is an agreement between Mike Dempsey, Access LaPorte County, Indiana Incorporated, ALCO, and the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety requesting the 5th extension of agreement for Government Access Channel Programming, Channel 97, Public Access Channel Programming, Channel 99, and Public Access Studio for 1-year contract commencing January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021 at an annual amount of $150,000. Is there anyone here from ALCO wishes to address the board? Okay, well, why don't we go ahead then? Is there any board comments?
Madam President, I would just say that this is, has been an ongoing effort to broadcast all of the city's activities, meetings, council meetings, board meetings, commission meetings, which without this contract, without ALCO, we would have no window with the community. We would not have the visibility that is so necessary to government. I make a motion that we approve this.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Mike Dempsey is here.
Mike Dempsey.
Morning, Mike.
Good morning. How's everybody?
We're all great, Mike. Do you have anything to add to what's been said?
No, this is just a 1-year contract extension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose? Motion carries. The next
Thank you.
item.
Take care.
Have a good morning,
Very
Mike.
much, Mike. Merry Christmas.
You too. Yeah.
The next,
Christmas.
yeah. The next item on the agenda is a request for street closure. Randy Russell, Department of Waterworks, is requesting to close the eastbound lanes on Michigan Boulevard between Woodland and Carroll Avenues to replace a broken 6-inch valve and a damaged fire hydrant on Tuesday, December 29th, 2020 from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Is anybody here from the Department of Waterworks that wishes to address us on this? Hello? Does anybody any board member wish to address this matter?
Just for a moment, Madam President, I'm sure is necessary work as I envision that area being blocked eastbound. They'll have to jump over to get to Carroll Ave on a probably the next street would be Barker Ave to the south. So we just need to make sure that the water department, that we have all the appropriate detour signs posted so that during that, it looks like an 8-hour period that, or 7-hour period that we have traffic flow. Other than that, I have no concern over it.
So
I would assume, I'm sorry, will there be advance notice sent out via the Facebook page and to the media to let people know that this is happening? I mean, I think that it's an advantage that we're doing it when we're doing it in between Christmas and New Year's, because I believe that traffic will likely be less during next week than it would be in subsequent weeks. So, I mean, I think it would be a good time to have it taken care of.
I will ensure that that happens.
Okay, I have a motion to approve, and that is contingent on two things: notice to the public and also to the appropriate diversion of traffic. Is that correct, Mayor? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, Madam President.
Okay, all right. Do I have a second?
I second.
Oh,
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
a lot of enthusiasm on this one.
There you go. There you go. I want our water department taken care of.
Okay. Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the approval of an agreement between the City of Michigan City and the Board of Public Works and Safety and Electromedia for the purchase and installation of a keyless entry system for City Hall. The services shall commence on or about December 22nd, 2020, and shall be completed by January 31st, 2021, in the sum of $15,241.75. Amber, was there insurance needed on this?
So, Madam President, yes, I think they did provide us with the insurance. Just to give the board a little bit of background here, Andy Metanik, our IT director, went out and got quotes pursuant to our purchasing policy. Vermilion actually came a few $100s less than Electromedia. The problem with Vermilion is they were not willing to negotiate a contract that they gave the city that I would not be willing to recommend that this board signs. The terms and conditions were, in my opinion, ridiculous. Some of the things that they wanted us to do in this contract were we named them as additional insured. They wanted to completely indemnify themselves for any damages that we would sustain in any delivery, installation, any negligence that they would cause us, that we would indemnify them 100% and hold them harmless, that we could not publish or communicate any negative comments about them, or there would be a $10,000 in liquidated damages. If they would sue us, we could not counterclaim. We'd be responsible for all of their attorney fees. And even if we could sue them and possibly win, our damages would be capped at $250 or 5% of the contract, whatever was greater. So given some of those terms and conditions, like I said, I was not willing to put such a contract in front of this board. So I would suggest that we go with the next lowest, most responsive bidder, who is Electromedia, who worked with us immediately and provided us with a contract that I can present to this board. I believe the funding for this contract would be paid out of some of the CARES money the city received because we are creating a contactless entry into City Hall. And I think that's it, unless Andy would like to add anything else.
No, I think you covered everything, Amber.
Any board comments?
I have just one and a question for Mr. Metanik. We decided to move in this direction during the COVID crisis. We had a few people come into City Hall that made it in one through a window one day, and we thought we can't have that anymore. We need better security. But so I think this is necessary. But my question is, in the event of a failure of electricity to City Hall, will there be a way to get into City Hall?
There'll be two different methods to get into City Hall. If there is a failure of electricity, which we do have a backup generator in place, we do have, this system will be powered by sealed lead acid batteries to give enough time for the generator to kick on. And in the case where the generator didn't kick on, we would still have a few hours of time to be able to gain entry to the building with the battery backup. Worst case scenario, what we're doing as well is we're going to have key doors that are going to be available that will still be able to be opened via a key in the event of a failure of power for a long period of time.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mechanic.
Anyone else?
Is there going to be any limitations in terms of who is going to have those keys to have access to it? I know that, part of the advantage of this is being able to track who does come in and who does come out. Is there going to be a certain amount of people that are going to have access to that key, or is it going to be something where a certain amount of people are going to, we're going to limit the amount of people that have that key?
It was my understanding what's going to happen is that the front doors of City Hall will be rekeyed, and so there will only be a select few that would have an actual key to gain entry into City Hall. And so maybe, like the mayor, the mayor's assistant, and, someone else possibly like it would have a key, but that would be it. Everybody else would just simply use the fob or their ID card. One of the purposes of this too is we went to a new time and attendance system about a year ago now, and that uses a proximity type of employee ID badge. And this system is compatible with that employee ID badge that's used for punching in and punching out. And so this badge is now dual purpose. You can open up the door and allow the individual to be able to punch in or out. So, just be one card for two different things.
Very good. I think that's very efficient to take advantage of this opportunity to use the funds to make everything more efficient down there.
Andy, I have just one silly question. Public access, how's that work with public access?
Well, my way that I was told and way I understand now is what we're going to do is during the COVID time when City Hall's closed, the doors will still remain closed, and then you have to use the card to gain entry, just like we're doing now with the key.
Certainly.
And then once COVID goes away and we can open it back up, then these would be set for a timer, or perhaps we could have it where it would be set up for the maintenance person to be able to go ahead and manually unlock during the time of business hours. And so at those times the doors would remain open just as they have in the past, but then for after hour access and for weekend access, that's when you use your card, or once COVID is over with. But until COVID is, then it'd just be the cards only 24 hours a day.
Thank you for that explanation. Any other comments? Then do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the Singing Sands Insurance Policy Renewal. Charles Keene, Vice President, General Insurance Services, is requesting approval for Singing Sands Trail General Liability and Excess Liability Insurance Renewal. Well, the policy term would be from the 1st of January 2021 to the 1st of January 2022, with a renewal fee of $43,331.25. Is Mr. Keene here, or anyone from General Insurance here?
Yes, good morning, board. Charlie Keene, General Insurance. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
We can hear you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. So this morning I'm here to present the Singing Sands Trail insurance renewals. So just to give the board a brief background on why we have separate policies for the Singing Sands Trail. There was a need for it because the city of Michigan City and the Chicago South Shore Railroad, Amtrak, and NIPSCO all had specific agreements pertaining to the trail. The agreements had several insurance requirements that the city of Michigan City was required to satisfy. The trickiest one was the Chicago South Shore Railroad had various stringent requirements. They were very extensive in nature, and they also required higher limits of liability than what the city currently carries, and exceed the state of Indiana tort caps. So therefore, we had to procure separate policies. So I'm here today to seek formal approval of the general liability and the excess liability renewal policies. And I'll just do a very brief review of the coverage. So primary liability coverage, we have a general aggregate of $2 million, a products and completed operations aggregate of $2 million, and each occurrence limit of $1 million. And then this year we had to do something a little bit different. We had to layer the excess coverage to achieve the $9 million of coverage required in the contract. So we had to do the first layer of $5 million and then a second layer for $4 million. So a total of $9 million in excess coverage. This is pretty standard in today's marketplace. The capacity for the excess liability marketplace is starting to dry up due to claims and carriers exiting the marketplace. So that's one of the changes. First layer, Starstone National Insurance Company, is the same as the expiring carrier. The second layer that picks up the next $4 million is with Markel American Insurance Company. Also, part of the reason for the premium increase is because the trail is actually open now. So greater risk of people using the trail and things of that nature. So also, let's see here. So total renewal premium, $43,331.25. I think that's all I had. Were there any questions? I put a much more detailed presentation together that I think you have in your board packet if you have any specific questions.
I know that it says that this was initiated, this policy was initiated in 2017. Have we had any instances where we've had to utilize these policies?
Yeah, Mr. White, great question. The short answer is no. Honestly, since really construction just started roughly a year ago, so really the trails aren't officially open to my knowledge, even though pedestrians can use them now. So short answer is no, we have not had any incidences.
Okay, thank you.
One other note is that the underwriter, and at the time I didn't have this answer when I had to put this together for the Board of Works meeting, which is due by Wednesday. The underwriter has agreed to extend the coverage at the same premium for all the phases as they get completed. So that's good news. So we have, and one of the, from a risk management perspective, peeling this piece off from the rest of the city's coverage, I think is probably an appropriate way to go. Had several discussions with Ms. LePage about this specific issue, and I think she's in agreement with that.
Any other?
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Amber.
I am in agreement with that. We have spent a lot of time on this and strategizing if it's in the best interest to continue in the fashion that we are. And both Charlie Keene and I have said that yes, it is.
Okay, I have a few questions. You answered one of them, that the cost of this did increase from last year, and you explained it because the trail is open now. Have we seen regular increases since 2017? And do you anticipate annual increases in the future?
Mayor Perry, great question. So the premiums have been flat since, or the same since 2017 up until this renewal. Part of it is because the trail is open and it's going to be utilized by pedestrians, but also because the market has hardened up a little bit. So it's hard to predict the future. You know, I would see if there were increases, they wouldn't be to the extent of this year's increase. I'd say maybe more of a modest increase of 2 to 3%. But hard to know. When the market gets soft again, it's very possible the premium will fall and go, you know, back down to where we were, you know, in 2017.
Okay.
Wish I had a crystal ball on that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Keaton.
We will forgive you.
Are there any other comments or questions? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I will second.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. The next item on the agenda
Thank you, Charlie.
is for informational purposes only. Yeah, the clerk's office has received correspondence on December 3rd, 2020 from Ken Pers regarding the status of sewer lines on 11th Street and Michigan Boulevard. The next item on the agenda is the claims docket. The December 21st, 2020 claims docket for the municipal claims is $1,347,164.71. CDBG is $29,690.88. Health Life is $0. Workers' Comp is $70,440.70. Total claims $447,296.29. Is there any questions or discussion about this?
I have none.
I have none.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I will make a motion to approve.
And I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion approved. The next item on the agenda is the payroll docket, December 21st, 2020. There's no payroll docket for this date. The payroll for 12/18 is scheduled for January 4th per the city controller. December 4th, 2020 city payroll of $817,757.48. And the December 1st, 2020 city pension is the amount of $231,752.87. Is there any discussion or questions?
None here.
And do I hear a
None.
motion?
I will make
A motion to approve. I beat you, Mayor.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And now we're down to our unfinished business. The list is narrowed down to the first three. Paul Prespolinski's concern over the hanging poles with wires. At the last meeting, Skylar York had mentioned that the city engineer had sent a letter to NIPSCO asking for a time frame on removing the poles. Has anyone got any information more current than that?
I do not have any.
Okay. What do you suggest, Mayor? Do you want to keep this on the list?
Yes, we need to keep it on the list. I will get in touch with Mr. Wright today, city engineer, and I will chase this along with Mr. Wright to determine where NIPSCO's at on this.
Okay. Do we want to put this over to the first or second meeting in January?
With the holiday, I would suggest a second meeting.
Okay, all
Give some
right.
more time to shake NIPSCO into action.
Okay. The next pending item on the agenda then is the James Taylor request for roadway access on Huron Avenue. And also he was asking for a street light that was installed. My understanding is the city clerk's office sent a letter to him, to Mr. Taylor, to get in contact with the city engineer. Does anyone have any update on this?
I have none.
Okay. What's your pleasure?
I have not heard anything.
Do you want to just continue this to the first or second meeting in January?
I would suggest we continue it to the second meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item on the agenda is Mayor Perry, you were going to contact Chief Campbell regarding Cora Cambridge's ask her request for a NIPSCO pole in front of the 220 Gladys Street. Do you know whether the matter has been taken care of?
Madam President, I believe that the NIPSCO has responded. They need a formal motion from the Board of Works approving this request so that they can do it.
Okay, all right. Then does anyone wish to discuss this further or to make a motion?
I will make a motion to approve, to urge NIPSCO to install the light and approve it.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The last three items, go ahead.
Virginia, will we keep this on the pending list until it's put up and we can kind of track it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you.
The last three items on the agenda are set for, or on the unfinished business list, are set for the first meeting in March, so we won't even be concerned with those. There is one item, excuse me, the order to demolish. I forgot about that one. The order to demolish on West 10th Street. There's a note that progress has been made on this and it was tabled to this date. Is there any more information on this matter?
I have not received any from code compliance.
Okay.
So I specifically asked Sue Downs if she still intended to go forward with this order because this board has never either affirmed it, modified it, or reversed it. She indicated that she believes the owner has substantially complied with her order to demolish and she anticipated rescinding. So at this point in time, I would advise the board that there is really nothing pending in front of the board, and I believe you could remove this.
We need a motion to do that, do we not?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to remove the item.
Do I hear a second?
I will second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, motion carries. This matter will be removed from the pending items list. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have any public who wishes to comment? Hearing none, then are there any board comments?
I would just say that wish everyone a happy holiday, good health. We're moving forward with the COVID vaccine. We've had a couple issues, and hopefully we can get back to business the way we should be in the first quarter of next year. But
Thank you.
have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
Madam President?
Yes.
Yeah, excuse me, this is Councilman Don Probolinski.
Yes.
I know you can't see me on the screen, but I'm talking off my cell phone. So, but one thing I would like to bring up, and I appreciate you hearing me out, is on Franklin Street, possibly Michigan Boulevard, and other areas in town where we have automatic electric street controlled the street lights with the ADA accessible crossings where we have the seconds that when you push the button at the crossing, the seconds are clicking off. And also, I believe there's supposed to be audio warnings done for people that want to cross those intersections. Also, the buttons that are on the poles themselves that control the stoplights and the timers for the ADA accessibility. Some of those do not work. I walk Franklin Street quite a bit and cross those intersections. And I think that what the city needs to do, and I spoke to the city engineer already, is that we need to audit all the automated crossing intersections that have streetlights and have these devices on them to make sure that they are adequately working, so that people that need to use them, people with handicaps, people with visual impairment, possibly people in wheelchairs, what have you, that they need these devices. And I want to get it on record that the Board of Works either contract somebody through the city departments and tell them to check these out, or that we hire a contractor to come into Michigan City or in Michigan City to check out every intersection we have with streetlights and these ADA accessible devices connected to them, and we get them checked out before springtime comes and before people really get out and get active again, so that we have everything up and running for anyone with a handicap or that needs to use the ADA accessible crossing equipment. Thank you. I'd like to get that on record, and I'd like the Board of Works to set a date when they could start working on this, after they talk about it, and we get this done in early spring, if not before spring. Thank you, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Prespolinski. Is there any board comment on this matter?
I guess I would ask Mayor Perry, which department would that fall under the classification of? Who would be the best person to kind of initiate looking into that?
Well, Mr. White, I cannot answer that at this moment. My reply would be that we need to put this on the agenda for our first meeting in January, and I will have those answers at that time. I don't know who installed these. I don't know what kind of a warranty we have on their work. I don't know who we would retain to do the checkout and the repair, but Mr. Przybylski is absolutely on the money. It is a vital necessity. It's what we need to do, and we will get that done. Thank you, Councilman, and you and your family have a Merry Christmas. But we will make that happen.
Then do I have a motion to put this matter on the unfinished business pending items list?
I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
I will second that motion.
All in favor? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Any other board comments?
No, I would just like to wish everybody a great holiday coming up, and I understand that Mayor Perry is on his way this morning to do battle with Mayor Dermody from LaPorte, and all I can say is Mayor Perry beat LaPorte.
Absolutely.
Go Michigan City. Everyone have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good day
Everybody
to
in Michigan
everyone.
City, have a very Merry Christmas, and let's look forward to a great 2021.
Have a
you.
great holiday, everyone. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, everyone. Take care
Thank
now.
you.
We'll see you next year.
You
Yep.
bet.
Be safe.